Hello everyone. Today is Wednesday and it is time for our virtual card class. I'm so glad you all could be here today. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to be focusing in on the Stay Warm stamp set. Not like we need any kind of warm today, my goodness. It is so warm outside. We are also going to be using the traditional label bundle, so it's the stamp set and the dies. These dies are amazing. I love it. For these cards, you can clearly use whatever sentiment you would like. So we are going to get crafting here. Again, we're using the Stay Warm. And let's get our first project out. So what I like to do, and I learned this tip from a friend, is I go ahead and I stamp on just some scrap paper. So when I'm designing cards, I can kind of lay these pieces out and see how they fit. So I'm just going to move them over to the side. And let's grab the pieces for our first card. You kind of got a little sneak peek this morning on what they look like, so I hope you like them. All right, so we have our Secret C cardstock, and we're going to fold this in half, just like so. Grab our bone folder, make sure we press that down. All right, then what we're going to do is take this end and fold it back up on itself. So it's a little fun fold card to start with. We'll press that down. So this is one of the stamp sets that is featured in the October Christmas Craft-Along. So you will definitely want to check that out. That is going to be a lot of fun. I do have the link in the description above, so you are absolutely going to love it. All right, so let's stamp our sentiment. And we're grabbing the sentiment from the traditional label stamp set, and we're going to use Season's Greetings. Now you could use whatever sentiment you would like. Not that one, Season's Greetings. And let me get a block. I like to lay it flat on my table and then pick it up with my block. All right, we're going to grab our Secret C ink and just some light taps. Make sure it's covered well. And stamp that down. All right, so let's clean this off. All right, so what else? So I hope everyone has been having a fantastic beginning of September. We're kind of like halfway through the month already. Can you believe it? Crazy. All right, so let's start assembling. So I have some of this Designer Series paper. This is, let's see here, I had a note here of what all the supplies I used, but I have all the supplies listed in the description that's attached to this video, so be sure to check that out. I had my little post-it note somewhere. I don't know where I put it. All right, so we're just going to take this and add this to some more Secret C. All right, now we will take our basic white and we're going to just stamp a little something here in the corner. And I had used these super cute little mittens. Aren't these adorable? Look at them. They're so cute. Let's see. Oh, I need that Secret C stamp pad again. All right, so we'll put one in the corner here. And this is going to go on the inside of our card. All my little pieces. And here's the other little mitten. Oh, that didn't cover so well. I think I was holding it funny. So because they're photopolymer, you can just kind of reline that up. There you go. Whew, that worked. All right. Now I think I'm done with the stamp pad. All right, so let's start putting everything together. All right, let's let this dry for just a moment. I have more of that beautiful designer series paper. Isn't that gorgeous? So this would be perfect for fall, Christmas, and then here, obviously, the poinsettias would be great for Christmas. And we are going to attach this just right on the front of that fold. All right, now let's put our insert in, our basic white. And we'll just put that right here. You could use any color you would like. I like the lighter colors because then you can write and people are going to see it. Okay, so we are going to want to attach this right to the center. Now I want to be sure that this edge lines up with the edge of that white paper. Okay, so we're just going to kind of line that up a little bit. And then when I pick it up, I'm going to pinch it right where I don't want any more adhesive, because you don't want adhesive on the entire thing. Okay, so I just want adhesive on this end. You could use liquid glue for this if you would like. Liquid glue is like my nemesis. I always get so covered in it. I'm just going to put that on the edge there and put that down. There we go. So now our card opens like this. All right, so let's grab some of this beautiful red ribbon. So this is real red and it's a shiny ribbon. It kind of has like a little iridescent sparkly to it. I think it's so pretty. And we're just going to put this right behind. We're just going to kind of pre-measure how much ribbon we would like to use. I don't think we need a whole lot. All right, so now what I want to do is grab my Stampin' Seal. Now I would probably use the Stampin' Seal Plus, but I have left that at my studio. Still trying to work on that crazy internet stuff. My goodness, when you live out in the country, internet is kind of wonky. All right, we're going to put some dimensionals on here right away. And then we'll place our ribbon right behind. So if you are watching, please put in the comments that you are here. Let me know where you are from. I would love to know. And we're just going to put that right behind it. And then we'll take this and put that here. All right, so here is card number 1. All right, so let's move on to card number 2. And card number 2 has more neutral colors. So these are the pieces that we're going to be using. All right, so let's do our stamping first. So it has a little bit of time to dry before we start to do some cutting. All right, we're going to use this fantastic sweater, and you can see that it's well loved. You know what? I think I'm going to grab a bigger block just to be safe. I'm going to lay that down, and we're going to pick that up. Now I would like to use the Old Olive, and this is Old Olive cardstock, and I'm stamping on Basic Beige. Juice that up. And we're good to go there. And let's clean that off. I'm just going to leave this on the block because we are going to be needing that later. And let's grab this little hat. The hat is so cute. All right. Oh, that didn't look so great. So let's do another one. That's better. All right. So let's let that dry for just a little bit while we assemble. Oh, you know what? We have our sentiment to stamp as well. So let's do that. So we're going to use, from our traditional labels, let's use 'Tis the Season. So we'll lay that flat. Pick that up. And put that right there. Perfect. And clean that off and put that right back. Okay. Close this before we have an ink emergency. All right, let's let that dry and let's put the card together. All right, so this is a very, very cute card. All right, I'm going to fold this in half, much like you do with all your other cards. And we'll press that down. And then I have our basic beige, and I have 2 pieces of the 5 1/4 by 4 trimmed out. And we're going to put one on the inside of our card, so that is done. Now you could go ahead and stamp something on here. I would suggest stamping before you attach it on the inside of your card. So it will be a little difficult to try and peel that paper out. Okay, so now we have another piece of basic beige, and I used another Designer Series paper. Gosh, I wish I knew where my little sticky note was that had all the papers I was using. Oh well. Okay, so this is the front and the back, and we're going to utilize both sides. So I want the darker side to be up towards the top. Here, I thought I was so prepared. I had all my little notes of what I used. I don't know where it went. Oopsie. All right, we're going to put this right at the top, and we're going to leave a little bit of a border. You could measure it out if you want, but you don't really need to. And then I have the small piece. Now I'm going to put my adhesive on the dark side this time. And we're going to layer this at the bottom, trying to keep the same border as best we can. There we go. It overlaps a little bit. Now I have this wonderful twine. So this is Early Espresso and Old Olive linen thread pack. So I could not decide if I wanted the green or the Early Espresso, so I decided, you know what, we're going to use them both in the same wrap. So we're just going to pair them up here. We're going to pull some. Now we're going to wrap it around our card. Okay, so we're going to leave a tail. I don't need that much, but pull it. I'm just going to wrap it around just one time. You could go around as many times as you would like. We're going to tie our first knot. I'm not cutting it just yet because I want to make sure I have enough to make my bow. All right, I'm going to pull it a little tight. It will lay down. And I like to do a double knot when I'm working with the baker's twine or the linen thread, only because when I try to make my bow, I don't have to worry about it all falling apart. So pull them a double bow. So now I can let it go and it's not gonna go all crazy. All right, so now we will trim and we'll make our bow. Make a loop, go around. There we go. Isn't that fun? All right, so we're just going to kind of scooch this down so it's by the seam of the two papers. And we'll just try and put the brown thread over the green and the green over the brown. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so let's take this and we'll add some dimensionals onto the back. And we're going to use our leftover dimensionals here. I always like to use all the little bits and pieces of dimensionals. No sense in wasting. I'll just kind of peel these off as I go. And here's one more right here. And let's see, this is empty. I'll grab one more dimensional from another pack right there in the middle because we don't want a saggy middle. All right, so let's just put this right on the center. Just like that. Easy peasy. And we'll take our banner and we'll just trim this off here. Try and keep the same angle. If it's not perfect, no worries. No one will know. Let's grab some more dimensionals, put them on the back. So like I had said before, I am featuring this stamp set, the Stay Warm, in our October Christmas craft-along. It's a perfect time to start working on those Christmas cards, then you're not rushed with the holiday season. Okay, so we're just going to start trimming this out. Now you want to leave a little bit of an edge from the line of your stamped image. You don't want to cut right on the line because no one, I don't care who you are, no one cuts perfectly. And you're going to get a jagged edged look. I mean, unless that's what you're going for, feel free. But I think it looks better with a little bit of a border. Move your paper. Try not to move your scissors. I know it's inevitable sometimes. I'm just going to trim this out. It really doesn't take long. Now this stamp set does not come with a die set because you know what, it's fairly simple to trim out, and if you don't want to trim, then don't. I don't know. All right, so we're going to trim here inside this, between the body of the shirt and the sleeves. Let's trim that out and let's go to the next one. Don't have to get all up in there all the way. Just pull that out. There we go. And we'll grab our hat. And make sure we grab the nicer of the two. We don't want that one because that one's kind of wonky. Now, if you wanted to be extra creative, you can go ahead and color in your hat and your sweater if you would like. I am not, because I think there's a lot going on with the paper. Sometimes less is more. So I will have a fun little ordering special for you after we are done with our cards. So be sure to stay tuned. You will not want to miss out, because it coordinates with something Stampin' Up! Has going on. Let's see. Okay, so let's attach our little pieces. We'll add our dimensionals. two on the little hat. Now the regular size dimensionals do fit on the little sleeves, so that's pretty cool. You don't have to trim them or use the minis. All right, so we got that one. There we go. So now we have our little pieces. So we're just going to arrange them right on our card, just like that. And here is card number 2. And if you had some bling, some embellishments, feel free to go ahead and add them on. All right, card number 3. Oh, there we go. I just found my notes. Okay, so the paper, let me just show you real quick. This designer paper is the Traditions of Christmas. It is a specialty designer series paper. So that is what this one was. And the card that we had just made, this was from the Gathering Together designer series paper. All right, so our next card, I am going to be using, this was the Timeless Plaid 6x6 designer series paper. This is not new. This had come out a while ago, but I'm sure everyone still has some of this because it was just some awesome paper. So I love the color. I thought we could incorporate that in a card. All right, so let's take our designer series or our cardstock. This is Cherry Cobbler. I'm going to fold this in half. We shall press this down. All right, so our card is going to open this way. Let's attach this to the inside of the card. Again, you can go ahead and stamp something in there. Right in the center. There we go. All right. So then we have, we're going to make our layer. So we have our designer series paper. I am using Very Vanilla. And I had run this through an embossing folder, the Gathering Leaves embossing folder. So I don't know if you can see that. It's really pretty. All right, we're going to attach this flat to our designer series paper. Oh, I'm so glad I found my note. All right. Then we will attach this to our card base, and we're going to do that flat. You can go ahead and add dimensionals behind it if you would like. And we'll put this right in the center. Okay, next we will stamp. We have to stamp our sentiment, another sweater, and we are going to stamp a little heart. So let's grab the Cherry Cobbler. Let's do our sentiment first. All right, so let's put this little guy back. 'Tis the season, and I want to use Sending Love and Joy. Now you could also use, you know, a birthday sentiment. You could use anything you would like. So we're going to put this on a little longer one here. Let's stamp our sentiment. Okay, that didn't turn out very well. I'm so glad I die cut out a second one. So let me just clean this. And you want me to grab a little baby wipe and wipe that off. So it happens. It is all good. All right, all clean. So juice that back up. And you know what? It is what it is. I don't know what the deal is with my V. That's kind of weird. But that's close. I will obviously swap that out when I mail this out. All right, so let's put the sentiment back. And we need to stamp our sweater. That nice and juicy. And it could be because I just refilled my ink pad. So that could be why it's a little funky. And press that on. Just like that. Fantastic. All right, and then I want to stamp the little heart that comes in your stamp set. Stamp that right there. All right, that was all the stamping that we need to do for this card. So, I had already stamped this and I die cut, or I fussy cut that out. So you don't need to watch me fussy cut that. So we have the heart. And we're just going to trim this one out. Be careful not to touch it until it's dry. Sometimes the darker colors take a little longer to dry. Just saying, because when I was done designing these cards yesterday, my hands were a little covered. Just saying. There we go. Get all that scrap over there. Okay, so let's put the rest of the card together. So we will grab our dimensionals. Everyone knows I love my dimensionals. So we'll flip this guy over. So put one there, one there, one there. Let's peel those little backs off right away. Go. And we will place this right about here. You know what? We do need to do something else with this label. So, what you're going to do with your label is you're going to hold your stamp pad, you're going to hold your label, and you're just going to slide it. Just one quick little slide. So you're going to have like a little edge. Now this is where you will probably get a little inky, but that's all right. There we go. Now definitely want to let that dry. It is a little thicker. So we can do the other parts next. So we will grab a dimensional, of course, and put that on the back. We are just going to lay that there, grab some dimensionals to put on the back of that label. You know what? I'm going to give that a little more time to dry. We're going to tie a bow. So we are going to just use our regular linen thread. This really should be a staple in all your crafting. This should be a part of your toolbox. Because if you can't find a ribbon to match, there's always linen thread. All right, we're just going to cut that. So I'm making a double bow, so I just make a loop, and then I'm going to cut so it's in half. Make the loop, twist it around, maybe. And if you really wanted to be super duper creative, you could probably grab one of your blends and color the linen thread. That you would definitely have to wait for that to dry. All right. So let's grab a mini glue dot. I'm just going to fold it in half. we're going to put it right at the neck of the sweater. And we'll put our little bow on there. Isn't it cute? All right, now we'll grab those dimensionals. This should have dried, I hope. All right, we'll put that right towards the bottom. Just like that. And then we have that little heart. Can't forget about him. I'll just put that right on the end. All right, so here is card number 3. So here are the 3 cards that we made. Let me know which is your favorite. Do you like the red one, the blue one, or the green one? So put that in the comments. Let me know which one you like the best. But let me tell you about the ordering special that I have for you. So you can get this card kit for free. You'll get to make a total of 6 cards. Where's my other sample? 6 cards. I will give you the supplies to make all of these. You have 2 ways you can get it. You can get it for free with a $30 order at my store. I have the link attached. Or you can purchase the kit for $30. So why not get it for free? Why not? So again, I do have that link. And you will get the bits and pieces. The labels will be die cut for you. You will be able to hand cut your little shirts, but I will definitely be sending you everything that you need, and I will include the envelopes. So you can't go wrong for that. All right, so that is all I have for you lovelies today. Again, be sure to check out my YouTube channel for other past videos. After 30 days on Facebook, Facebook now deletes them. So you can't see all of my fantastic videos. So go to YouTube or check out my website at lovedbyhimdesigns.com. I have links there to all my classes. That's actually in the process of being updated today. So I would say by tonight, all my classes will be updated for some upcoming events. All right. So that is all I have, lovelies, and I will see you all here next week for another virtual card class. Oh, and the event that Stampin' Up! Has tomorrow, you get 15% off of stamps and stamp accessories. So I'll be putting a post out there shortly on that. So you can always place your order tomorrow to get this class for free. You have until Monday. So from now until Monday to place your order to get this fantastic kit. All right, now I can say goodbye. All right, I will see you lovelies next week. Bye-bye and God bless.